you know, the way it's gone, you can't get this sort of thing done everywhere. The price, obviously, of man's labour is very expensive, and to employ somebody to do this for you would be very expensive. And it's generally done by several people. I've got a friend called a firm, and well, they never work with me because I don't know, because of my face, but also because the publicity about this device is it can't possibly work. I have worked out how it works. Maybe they don't like it because they're not working on understanding things. Maybe they think, a lot of people think the people in power are very wise and so on, but actually it's to do with money. You know, whether you make things to make money, not things that obviously don't make money. This won't make money because but it can be make money if to the right people, not me. But the person who exploits it will make money. You know, the person who invents it, that makes sense. But I spoke to an artist who'd worked for about 3 months on a painting, and she was selling it for quite a cheap price. And eventually we said, well, I thought it was a silly price because of all the effort she put in, all the months of work she put in. And so it went up and up and up. And eventually we decided it was sold about £30,000 eventually because of all the work she did, all the months of work. And it was a good painting. She probably wanted it. So that's the price. And they paid, and she was very pleased. Paid for all the tuition and everything else. And that's right thing to do. Start right now. So there are to work up into this. It's actually about 6 years' work actually, and if it works, I suppose a prototype, if it was 6 years' work, if I got my normal, well, if I was using 20,000 a year, 40,000, whatever it is, I would get £80,000. So that's the price of the prototype. Of course, the production model will be cheaper. I won't be saying this because you never get that price. I complained about this not being on a bobbin. It is a nuisance. It isn't unwound properly. So no, it's very bad. He said it was on a reel, but it isn't. And that means it all gets tangled up. That's a problem. Tangling wires is a problem. And so you have to, it's a nuisance. So it's very difficult to wind it up and find it without a reel. And they're supplied without a reel, that's what happens. It's all coming up. And that's how it's right. It's not suitable. Not suitable. They probably thought I cut bits off it. I'm not doing that. Amateurs do cut bits off it, but I wind it off with fiddle. And I need it to be properly cut on. See, that's all going now. All going on. And well, basically, that's possible to work it, but not very good. The size of it, with the Ryerson company said they don't always supply this with thick wire. That might be convenient for them, not from Gory's. They must have machines that line this stuff. And so there's a rest of them to the actions. Winding, if she says this stuff, that's quite difficult. It'll take another time. It's going around now. It all gets tied up. That's a little one. This is all tied up. Let's hope this. I mean, I can do that. Let's unwind it all. It's all being wound out, that's what it's doing. And not being on a problem is a real problem. You see, they thought workers are not clever, so because workers aren't clever, we can't be clever. I'm told that people I speak to who don't understand it. I don't know about that. They're just pretending. I don't understand it, therefore it doesn't work, which is valid. If you don't understand something, doesn't mean to say it doesn't work. And unfortunately, that's what they think. They think you can't be clever than that. That's what they think. No, they're probably trying to understand it, they want it. They say the highest minds works now, they do it by the way. It's very difficult to do. It is. And the highest minds they had worked on it and they could work it out. They didn't like people, or maybe, or people don't like people, I can't say not their class, or not their lineage or something, so, I don't know, where it comes from, I don't know, where it comes from at all. I think I have no limit, I understand it, What's the point, I mean, why shouldn't I understand something? The brains, I was told by a doctor, surgeon, the brains are the same product, they're really the same, and there's no difference, so workers can understand things. I think it's to do with needing to know and that sort of stuff. And they don't like it. They decided not to use it. I thought there was some doctors on it. They decided not to use it. Because it would put power in the hands of people, I don't know, people who shouldn't have power, perhaps. I don't know. Whatever it is. So, I can't tell them about their reasoning, but it's wrong. But it will produce well if it works. And it may not. I've got no guarantee it will work. And this is the ignition coil. And there's other ways to do the ignition. You can put a current through the resonance winding and cut it off. And that produces the high voltage. And it'll ping for a while. But that may not be enough to start the reaction. It might do. I think that's how one of my systems works a long time ago, which is good. I think I had a vibrating reed actually, which got pulses through it, and it started up. And that was a long time ago. And when I did it, when I was just at the Vine Mansion House where I was working, it worked straight away, which surprised me and other people. I was surprised. And this doesn't. I don't want it to, because I know how dangerous they are. They say a tester bomb could destroy London. That's not true. A tester bomb, which is basically something similar to this, you don't know the same. It's a bomb. It uses air as the yield, as the explosive, as the fuel, and air has a very low yield, so it wouldn't do very much damage. It was the size of a tube, I suppose. And I don't know what it was. That's what I was told. And when I was young, not that young, about 20, I made it in the garden. I was actually working at an atomic weapons research institute at other times, at the same time, but not at the relative weekends or something, I don't remember. And they said I couldn't know how to make them. And I was working in atomic research, so it's reasonable. And they didn't like it. You know, you must not make atom bombs in the back garden. But it's small. That is small. Well, this isn't an atom bomb. We think it is. It isn't. It's not a bomb. I was told, actually, this is flipped up again. Down there. So that's a bomb. I just unwind. That's why I say it's winding out. So why it's going wrong. It's just like that. It's all. Where's my clips? These little clips, which are the paper clips, to stop it moving about. They come off. They come off. That's an innovation. That was innovation. Uncle Arthur was similar to me, and when I used to work with him, I remember. And when they started celebrating him as a machine worked, people murdered him. Now, I don't know why they murdered him, but they may have said, well, we can't understand it, so you can't use it. That's what they said at the Apple University when I was going there. They couldn't use it because they didn't understand it. And then the computer, everything else. And, well, we were trying to work out paths or irons or something. They still didn't understand, they couldn't use it. So we often use things we don't understand. After all, the fact we use it means we understand it. That's what it's like. But I think somebody understands them. My computer, I don't understand. My computer, I use it. Just as I use. People make it understand. Now you'll see I'm making it. You'll see how it's made, and somebody else can make one. You can make an exact copy. Well, that's right, because I think it's a good idea. And that's nothing's get made. And well, somebody work theory. I have done a simple theory, but people. 50, I think that's 16. I think the clock says 16, and I think it's probably more than that because it slips. So I won't take notice of that. I will kind of wind into the all right now because the computer says 1 kilogram is 60 terms, and that's what I'm lying on. I don't know. It's actually slightly less. It's actually 0.75 kilograms. But 1 kilogram bit now. And it says 18. It's right 18 terms on that. So it slips. That is wrong. You know, when you record like this with the machine, I've got weight is the best way of doing it. Because then you know how much you've got. I suppose you could have a weighing machine there, and as it empties, you can measure the weight. And then, you know, but I'm going to stay now. So, there's not much left now. And I can measure resistance, you know. Low resistance is difficult to measure. I've got a multimeter measurement low resistance. And I've got one coil inside the other, it's tight coupling, I'm told. Because the inner coils, it's like a dipole, it's near them. And they couple. Dipole. So that's no way to think about it. So it's a screwed up dipole, which obviously it's a slow wave, and therefore the resonant frequency of the coil is the same way as a dipole works. A dipole is a mass of copper. And I mean, that was the worry about my bar of copper I was buying. Apparently it wasn't there on Friday. Saturday. Yesterday. I rang him up and I had to send it. So he was flipping. You probably saw a receipt, which was unrelated to the one I looked at. He tends not. He does sometimes damage these water things. I don't know exactly which screwdrivers have got. It's somebody's scratched them, but lots of them, I just lost them. But I've got a lot lying around here, so, and I know it's buried. So I could still be there. No. That's 50 turns, it's not many. It now says 18 turns, it's obviously false. The counter is missing the leads, but it's actually disengaged from the cog. That's why. That's the Chinese ones are like that. The counter is disengaged from the wheel, so it doesn't deal with the right way. Just slips. The wheel goes round and the counter doesn't. So a better counter is a catch on the wheel, so it goes round 1 notch at a time. And you could do that with an electronic circuit, which on this thing will trip every time it goes round once. Well, such a thing would be easy to make with some people, but doing everything at once is difficult. You want to buy one. When you buy things, you use somebody else's labour. You pay for them. You're not slaves, but they're employed. Like you, not exactly employed, which you're sharing your resources with theirs. So it's a good idea. I try to buy things. If I can't, I can make it. It's always better to buy something ready made, because all the other bugs are out. I know that. And I do. But when I can't buy it, I make it. And I think the Muslims in this area are actually planning to build a workshop where people get their things done. And that'll be useful. And useful for developers of things, some of his Russian others doing other things. And of course this is different, but special for me, how people do things. And there are workshops that would do things for people. That's a good idea. Exactly now I'm trying to what I want. So that's that. Now we're going to hold approximately right now. Right now. There's a hole there, but it's now inside the coil. That's not good. That's not good. It's got to be the outside. No. No. You could go through that hole there. Don't want to do that. Don't want to go through that hole, big hole, because that can take a switch. And don't do that. Let's see, let's just run it a little while. Okay. I'm going to drill a hole now. So I use a depth gauge to find out where that wire ends and try to make it follow out. So, and there's a fine wire going through there, which goes to the other, so I can cut that. And, if I was to do some plan, I wouldn't know where to put that because I didn't know I needed one. Yeah, I didn't know I needed this extra coil. I was trying to put 400 amp winding, but it still could have a 400 amp one on the outside. You'd have to be boxed in some, but it's only 4 turns, you see. And 4 turns at 400 amps is 1,600 ampere turns, which is considerably more than I'm getting here. And I'm now recording from another camera to see the file. I'll just play on this one. And that one be in the frame. This, and this. Let's just draw. The whole has to be drawn. But this is, I'm not very efficient. I like to fall over. Having an awkward construction is actually slightly, although it's silly, it sounds silly, it's slightly more comfortable than having a simple arrangement, sort of automatic. There's another thing people who work in such places think like that, because that's at home. Because you want it to, so you mass produce things. I was told that, and I think the men said it was ridiculous. Having, I said, you should have a resistor color code. So, but I don't like that. What ridiculous. So this is not sufficient. That's ridiculous because you want, what do you want to do? You want to get maximum production, don't you? So you want people to read color code. So when that was put down, a silly idea, which it was. Get out of there. Silly idea. So I do have silly ideas. That was right. And I thought it was straight. But it was, it's just instead of having a box with all the ladies locked, you have all the pile. You have to find which one fits. That slowed it down so much that it threw me out, threw bricks at me. So that's not a good idea. I want to make more interesting books. Not a good idea. Really, just the colour code takes about an hour. So some people do it. So it's not a good idea. Most people like variety, but they don't like. But if they're on production, that sort of thing, because their money depends on how many they produce in an hour or a day. They don't want to slow down. And they think about something else. Assemblers. They don't think about their work. And I thought it was wonderful if they do about their work. They have tunnel motion studies where they train people to work in a certain way. So that I didn't like it. They came to train me to do testing in a certain way. And acting. That's what I said. That's the truth. It's about to say these panels of plastic are quite thick. And I know what plastic is. Probably propylene as well. So I don't much like plastic. I'm not a plastics person. And what's that? That goes through there. Let's together. That's pretty tight. It doesn't make a difference if it's loose. It still works. But this is actually, let's just cut it off. It's shorter. Probably cut it off too much. You won't miss it. I'm missing this actually quite short. That's too thick. The wires and wire cutters aren't up to the business. Better ones, yeah. Better ones. I'll fix that. And people do different things. If people do it as a hobby, you can't see the problems they're solving. one of the reinforcements. And I'm not there, of course they seem to accuse me of murder, which the person accused me knows perfectly well I didn't. At least I think he does. He's just accusing me. And if he actually thinks I've done it, I don't know why, but it must be a sickness. Yes. He actually real reason doesn't want this produced because it means his father fought the war and people died for the wrong reason. Apparently, that's the real reason. It's nothing to do with the fact that it's a wonderful engine that produces electricity, not free but cheaply. That's the idea: cheap electricity, not free electricity. I think the most of the time was free electricity, isn't it? But it used a fuel. Then you used air, of course. So we use air. How am I going to do that? I think I used to have a terminal block, but a terminal block, I don't think I can do that. I can't do that. It's actually quite difficult to put an attachment on that. So I'm going to dip round. And you file, to put a soldering charge in, you put a file at the end there, you have to file the, you have to use a very hot soldering iron. It is solderable enamel, but you have to get because it's thick, you have a very heavy soldering iron. I don't have one. So in order to make it work, I have to file down the enamel off. It has to reach 300 degrees. I don't have an iron of that size, so it's difficult to solder to it in a while. You can, I think, 20, this is 25, I think that's 50, is it? 25, what is it? 25 watt, I think it is. 25 watts, you need a more power, 50 watt one. And that will do it. Okay. So it doesn't cut too much, you cut it off, put it back. And when they take people's brains out, you can't put it back. And I think they were disjealousy when they took my brain out to make me a zombie, which is not nice. And it's a crime, of course, to do that. It's a crime to do that. And, do it. I don't like doing that. And we're obsessed with communism, the reason why they're obsessed with communism, it didn't work a lot, nobody knows that. And the Polish themselves are good enough. It didn't work. It didn't work, actually. And nobody was saying again. Even in the former Soviet Union, and trying it out. It didn't work. Because it's when it failed. It didn't give the goods. So, but the raw capitalist system is very unpleasant. And factory production lines, I think it's based on production lines. It's very unpleasant working on production lines. Although I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself, and it's not just right, it's reasoning all the time. And the idea is to cut out reasoning and just do it as a routine job. And I do have assemblers, and when you do, they can assemble it, cut a brain out. But I worked in a factory, and they throw up. They just can't do it. It's all sort of the same thing every day, and it's not nice. Same thing every day. That's what factory work. It's not nice. Factory work is not nice, and you don't need a very clever to that, but you have to have more to a brain, especially to learn it. And the idea you learn it as the other ones do. And they sort of do that on more complicated jobs. And it takes longer. 10 years later, they don't get it. I don't like that. It's the philosophy of the slave empire. And basically, it must be ended because if they give up, if they stop, people live happier lives and there wouldn't be zombies. Zombie work is horrible. Zombies are crime. Turning somebody as a zombie is a crime. Because normal people are quite creative, happy, and they solve problems all the time. But people in power don't like that. I don't know what reason is. The theory is wrong. I think the bishop told me, you learn it from your father, you pass it on. You learn it from somebody else, you pass it on. And that's all. But I did learn quite a lot of these skills from other people. All those from other people. So there's nothing wrong with that. I don't agree with that. But what you use the skills for is essentially at the front. Things become habits, and you don't need reason. This is not a habit. It's not. It is involved reflex actions, as they say, and the reasoning process is like that. It's not the same as they think it is. It uses a database. You reason, and the reasoning does involve circuits that are the same as, I suppose, as a reflector, but not. But every part they've already done it. You know, you think the spinal cord, you don't think it's a reasoning centre. When it makes a movement, it calculates where the limb should be from the signal from the brain. To do that, it needs to reason. And that's all reasoning, and it's just a reasonable system. And so they reason goes to the whole system, and they worked out the consistency. That proves it, it's not. It's still oversimplification, because they say all they think about is one nerve, one fibre, it's not just one bundle, but one fibre. And one fibre is actually an array, there's lots of them. There's no bundle right now with archimedes, and so that's an array. It's an image. It's not the same as what they think at all. And they have a database. Each segment has a database where it's limb and where it's going to put it. And even in a disc in the limb, the saw in each arm. That's quite complicated. So this circuit there is just an oversimplification. And the conditional response is an oversimplification and an observed observation of behaviour. Whereas if you reward something, you're doing something you tend to do. Well, they're surprised I do this without reward. So I'm not being paid, and there's no reward. In fact, I do have food down here, that's reward. Before they stop working together, we do something else. They won't mess you up, they want me to work for somebody else. That's slavery. It's always slavery, but you don't have to. You don't with the other people. I work quite well with a man called Brian, and we work together. Quite nice. Of course, if groups get bigger than that, they tend to become master slave relationships, unfortunately, and that's what it is. And Brian did not want to do an 9 to 5 job, which is understandable, not many people do. But maybe they want to force you to do that. Well, it's not a question of the hours, really, it's what you do. And if I was doing things around pretty well, I'd be happy to do it more than 9 to 5. But who knows? That's what it is. A free man works hard, a slave only does a minimum amount of work for the boss, and then he goes up and goes to get drunk, which is no good. Sometimes they set their tools down and walk out. Then they come back with some more. And unfortunately, that's slavery. Slaves have minimum production, and they think wonderful thing it is. Mass production, it's not. This man who wrote about Wealth of Nations did not know probably what working in a factory was like. He thought he did, but well, maybe he didn't. No, he did, but he just didn't understand it. The people were taken on soil. Farm work was the same with us. On the farm, you plough a field, just walk on whatever they did, you just walk up and down, plough in the field, that's it. That's what we did. And I didn't remember a furlong was what a man could do in a day. I can't remember what it was. And that's of course. And so that's how I do things. But of course, the farming revolution was all these who worked on the farms, almost no pay, no reward. They did get fed, which was quite major in those times, was a different way. So was in Hungary. They were forced into the harvest. It was Egypt was, and there was no say. The harvest has to be gathered, and she was out of work, so that's what they forced to do. She wasn't strong enough, actually, and she's probably a collapse now. One day I remember, partly because a nurse in this country, I don't know what it was, somebody decided to stop my home. I think they were all the way where I was going, to stop me making a transfer. Oh, well, how it happened. And the result was she was stranded. Or she'd be here otherwise. Well, where she'd be better off, I don't know. But it's just what's a slave society here. This is in Hungary. And it's even worse here. And it works differently. She worked in a factory. If you wouldn't work in a factory, I should work in a high street shop. Where she works is well treated. And when you're with friends and so on, makes a difference. So factory work is not just a unit of like a machine. The idea is to turn around to a machine by damaging the brain. He doesn't talk to people, he doesn't chat. He just a zombie, that's what a zombie is. And it's appalling, yes, it should be. You're not against the law, it should be. I think that's what this, when I prosecuted Britain on the Human Rights Act, it was about that sort of thing. And the Labour Party wants to make this fundamental to be part of the Constitution and ignore the ruling of the European judges. which is what they're trying to discredit me, so telling me to cover up all these false accusations to stop Europe using pretending to know something. That's what's really happening, and actually that's what happens. But it appears that even Professor murder people in order with so from me to marker, something like that. I don't know what's happening, but it does appear that Professor do that. And so to them it's important. I don't know. Still, because their income to it. So the workers' income, well, it would not be affected. They'd be much happier. The Green Party idea is a much better idea. That's the idea. That's why these leaders of the Green Party, well, they're under attack. They're like lying. And they could, well, and they should leave the country. So I can't, because I've got the money. Well, they've got the money. And, well, so was the price. In fact, it's the price too. Because, yeah, there's a lot of socialism about welfare of the workers. But it's not just welfare, it's awful. They criticise Russian factories because the workers done differently. And I think they have Russian factories where individual plates were painted by a skilled person. They do a great deal. These ones are different. Now those plates are very valuable, but they were mass produced. But and they are really mass produced. Well, the gag factory where the machines do replace them. But minding machines, well, some people are still minders tools around operate looking at a machine. Oh yeah, wonderful what it is. Because machines do replace people. Robots. But you don't need people. You've got to have a system which employs people. And this causes this new development of printing, metal printing and stuff. But it could be such that individuals could have one and requires a reduction system without leaving home. They always have their family with them and perhaps work not all the time, but when they have the time. And not have a forced slave labour, which is what it is. And when you can make something for yourself, you could some files send out, so we sell files to people and to get these machines made. Well, it's everything now. And somebody in China would design somebody in Australia would make it, And so it's a global economy. And, well, some don't want it. Some don't want it. And, well, I don't know. That's not for us. Now I'm going to cover that wire with a piece of sticky tape now, which will just keep it down to the place. I have still got a sticky tape, but I still got it. Because I always lose things. And apart from pinching things, which is unlikely. Because he'll get in here and take things. It's abnormal. That's it's abnormal to be intelligent. And when I spoke more of my language, it's abnormal. It treats you. When you were in England, people aren't allowed to speak foreign languages because that allows the workers to compare notes with workers in other countries. They don't allow that. They want Britain to be isolated. And the idea in America was to say there's nothing outside England. Nothing. There's nothing outside England. Well, there's a great world out there. He does know that, probably. He shuts his eyes to it. And that's how bad it is. Now, this tape version. It's tape. This is standard masking tape, and it's quite good for making these things. And that's what it is. You just put it around. That stops this, and it does protect them. As I say, one of the wires is slightly cracked, but it's only just a brief scratch on the surface. That's the trouble. You start drilling things. It's partly, criticise me drilling things that's partly made. You're going to put it if you don't, that's right. That's where it goes. Anyway, I haven't made it before. And that's how I make them now. Okay. It's pretty rare in a scoring storm, but it's very interesting because I didn't drill it high enough up together because the wire was brown as rice. Alright, that's gone now. It still doesn't work. I'm try and work it again because it was conducting. And that's important. Well, now for this, keep the tape round. So make it neat and tidy. But I can put, otherwise you don't do the wires all get mixed up with each other. And really you should, every layer should be covered as well as a stick tape. Because I did an instruction course on my inner car, and you do it, what you first do is single layers, very carefully round, and then with a sticky tape over each layer. In fact, those two, they use different things. That's how it was. But it's a 19th century textbook, which I brought up to, so that's what I did. But I found later, well, because you can't use drill windings of drill course, you get mixed up. The outer toes wind into the full into the centre, and that doesn't matter much unless you try to unwind it. It doesn't alter the inductance very much or the characteristics of the core, but it doesn't need. A neat coil is always better. A neat work is always better. That's enough. So I'll stop there. I noticed my camera's run out of time. I want to take a photograph. And there's a solder of the tower on there. And I think I'll break now. And that's a reward. I've done it. That's a reward. It's satisfying to see that done. I must have been rewarded as a child for it. I wouldn't respond like that. I don't know. I can't remember. If I punished to do anything, but they rewarded me for doing so. Very long. And that's how you treat children. You reward them for doing anything. Reward much better than punishment as a conditioning stimulus. So people don't believe that. Traditional teachers should have beaten them up. Well, they used to do that, beat people, throw the rod and throw the shot. It's not true. Not true at all. People who are beaten become very ill. Because they hate the people who beat them and they hate their jobs. So on that, you've got to reward them for working and they don't hate their jobs. And the idea is you go out to work and enjoy it. Well, you don't. Try to enjoy life. You're happy and unhappy at work. And so it is. And communism was much like that. Their production facilities were made to make you happy in some ways. I don't know about Russia or how it is now. But the idea of a slave in a factory being forced to work and running away every time you can quickly get your hands on is not nice. Now, I noticed that when I was working, I went to a meeting outside the university. The other two was we ran away, and I was able to stop the bus and go get on the right place. And they said, "Why are you late?" And I said, "Well, what's happened? It just didn't stop." And they ran away. Well, that's how it is. I don't know why they ran away. They had the same job as me. I enjoyed it, and they didn't, because of the way they were punished. I later found that Jeff Venables, my boss, was brain damaging people, which is the custom in England. It's a crime, and that's what I'm suing them for. It's a crime to do that. You don't need to. And if you treat them properly, they have happily for you. That's the main thing. And being friendly with the boss and happy is much better than being a slave, brain damaging. Their ideas are very different, and I think that's wrong. British are horrible people. They force you to do things. We don't have to. They don't have to be like that. You all people like it. I was paid, but they kept changing my wages and got fed up there. And eventually stopped paying me altogether. So they do that. And they want me to go back there as a slave. That's the point. I like to shoot on. And can't do anything about it because this country is a slave state, and if you try to escape, you're beaten up and killed. And now, well, according to my memory, I'm 91 now. So there's still way to work. It's 7:30 you go to work. And it's awful, really. Awful place. And you really can't do anything about it. And I'm a transfusion developer. I don't know. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know. Because you can't. Well, the previous ones started working. You have to be careful. These things are dangerous. And there's all sorts of, you have to put all sorts of traps to stop it exploding. And I'm doing everything though. But because of lack of funds, it's difficult to carry on. So I'm slow. And other people are fishing first faster than me because they have more money, especially in America. America's a free country and people can do this, and people are wealthy enough, quite ordinary people, and they do brain damage people over there like they do here. They got it in Britain. But everything in Britain must be thrown out. Everything British must be thrown away. Everything. The whole thing is based on slavery. The Norman thugs have got some mad ideas, and basically they've tried to enslave the world. Well, their idea of civilization is not very nice, and not very nice at all. So I don't like it. Just don't like it. They give me so much money, it'll take my brain out. Well, that's what they want. Well, to have my brain out and work for whatever money this is. Could be got a lot, but it wouldn't mean anything because I'd have no mind. So that's what psychopaths they are. I don't know why they do that. It's their tradition. Well, and that's what they think. It's absolutely awful. You can't escape from it. I can't leave the country, and I'm a prisoner here, and they want to kill me. They just give me some poisonous drugs which would have killed me if I'd taken them, and stop my National Health Service. Executions on the National Health Service. The diagnosis basically that I killed somebody is on the National Health Service, which is false, and the diagnosis that took me to execute me, that's false too. So that's the National Health Service. It's an autocracy, not very nice. So pick and choose your doctor and buy your own tablets. Obviously, for emergencies, if these are very serious things, that's more difficult. But yeah, the same principle applies. I find, of course, when you die, you die. So that's unrecoverable.